Hello, and welcome to a new series that I'm going to call the Art Yip Yap Sessions. I am your host, Amethyst, and we're going to start this series off strong. I have faith. This series is going to consist of me doing what I do best, which is making mistakes relentlessly in completely raw, unedited videos, so you can see the mistakes flow out, and you can see how good I am at just pretending they're not there. And sometimes, just sometimes, I'm able to fix them. In other words, I just don't like editing videos. But I do think there's a lot of value in seeing my mistakes and what most people would cut out of their videos. I think there's a lot of value in that because there's no such thing as perfect, especially not with this sort of art form, craft sort of thing. But I think that's about all I have to say. This is an 11 by 14 poster. I don't know if this series is gonna always be tutorials because I just talk. So I will title the videos accordingly throughout this series if I think it's a tutorial or not. However, I would like to lean into something a bit more beginner friendly today to start off strong. So I think there's nothing more beginner friendly and more easy than planets. So let's start with something planet-like. However, this will not just be a space painting. No need. Oh, and there's a fly getting very close to my drink, dangerously close. We can do nature-y type things with a planet, and this is always what I recommend people do. Learn the planets, master the planets, or at least get comfortable with them, and then start adding nature elements if that's something you want to get into. So I think a big old planet, whoops, the fuck is that? A big old planet, maybe a little off to the side, will be perfect. What is that? Okay, I think it's fine now. We're gonna go ahead and outline it. And there's a million different ways that you could do a planet. That's why I always tell people to go for them, because you can do anything. And as long as you shade it and highlight it, it looks like a planet. It's pretty fucking cool. Pretty amazing, actually. So, let's do something a bit bright. We can do a lot of bright colors. Let's take some trash, however. We'll start strong with some trash. Oh, here's some. What we're gonna do here, oh, actually, I lied. We're gonna use a different piece of trash. So trash is typically just poster board, right? Just scrap poster board that I kind of keep lying around. And what we want is a flat bit up there, and I'm just gonna crease it, right? And this is the fountain pen. I'm probably gonna explain these only once, the weird terms that I use. This is the fountain pen. It's just a piece of scrap, folded, and we're gonna spray some paint in there. And I'm just gonna pick a random color. And we just spray it on in there, and the whole idea is when we tilt it down, paint pours out. Fun, right? Now, I just want you to, well, what I'm gonna do is just flick. I'm just gonna flick, and you can use your fingers and flick, but you're gonna mostly get dots. I've only done this technique a couple times. It was just something I was messing around with, having fun. But I like how we get those lines, and I also like how we can go in and we can draw with it as well. I mean, we can make little hearts. See? Pretty. You could do anything with this, and it's pretty fun, pretty cool. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna throw a couple colors in here. Let's throw some orange in here as well, and I'm really coating this thing up because I want a lot of paint in here. And we can have maybe them flick this way as well. They don't have to flick all the same way. Oof. See, that's pretty fun. And then finally, we can do, I'm just kind of picking colors at random. Maybe we'll take just some purple and flick some down. See how we get mostly just kind of blobs? You don't really get those lines. That's the difference. But both are great. And both will hopefully give a good result. Hopefully. Let's take some white and we're gonna coat up one side. This is just gonna be my top coat. I like to use neutrals for this sort of thing. We're gonna do black on the other side. Just because I think I would want my shading over here. That's why I picked that way. Excuse my dog, she's chasing a bird. So let's take some magazine and let's take some secret sauce. Right, the secret sauce is clear coat. That's all that it is. I understand it can be a bit confusing, all the materials and stuff, and it probably doesn't help that I'm always using weird terms. But the secret sauce is clear coat. You can get it, I get mine, Rust-Oleum. You can get it from Walmart, from Home Depot, from Amazon. And I'm just re-wetting the paint using that secret sauce and placing a magazine and lifting it. That's it. And we get all those cool colors that come up. Very fun. Now let's just go ahead and shade. We don't really have to do a whole lot since we already, this fly won't leave me the fuck alone. We have a lot of white and black already here, so we don't really have to do a whole lot. However, let's go over this. In order to shade and highlight, we need to know two things. I think two things. We need to learn how to find our distance. See, that is too close, way too close. Now, if you're fancy and you got a soft cap, then you can hold it close and get away with it. However, it's come to my attention that some of you think that I rely on fancy things, which is weird because I use literal trash to do my stuff. But you do not need soft caps. And if you think you need soft caps or you have a hard time using any other cap, it's a skill issue. Hate to break it to you. If you don't have a soft cap, here's what you're gonna do. Pull the fucking can back. Use your brain for like 2 seconds, just pull the can back. If this is too close and that's too solid, we pull it back and it separates a little bit. See? Easy. We want that nice cloudy effect. And also, we need to learn how to make smiley faces. That's it. Oh, that was a really bad smiley face. There you go. Something like that. Something like that. And it's going to be the same thing. We're going to find our distance with it. So a little bit of black over here. Just like that. Now, if you want to move in with the shading, so you can do that as well. This is a full-ass tutorial, isn't it? I used to do tutorials a lot, so I guess it's instinct. I'm going to pick white, but usually you would do this with the black with shading. Is you can start from the bottom of the planet. We'll say it's like right there. We could start from the bottom, and we can move our way in depending on how much shading you want. See, I'm just kind of moving up, and then you can just kind of move back down. Now for the white, with the highlighting, I wouldn't move in. I would actually just kind of let the overspray do most of the work. So let's do just a nice little smiley face on that side. And I think we're good to go. You can also use colors and stuff like that for your stuff, for your shading and your highlighting. But we'll keep it to the basics for now. Now, if you want the best results, you ought to let her dry. But we don't do that around here. So let's just keep it like that. Let's keep it like that. Okay. Do we want to throw some colors down just in case? Usually I would throw a layer of color down just in case we use any techniques that... Can that fucking bug fuck off? Thank you. Just in case we use any like techniques that involve scraping. I like to have color there. Hold on, I'm thirsty. Nothing like a lukewarm G Fuel to start the day. But let's just ignore that for now. Let's just say we'll be okay with white down there. Let's just do a basic sky. Well, we're gonna... Are you fucking for real right now? Let's just use another can. We're gonna use some simple. All right, we're just gonna use some black around the edges. And then we'll use some color to fill up the sky. Something simple, right? However, we don't just need to use black for the sky. I often find that quite boring. Oh, I don't have another cap? Oh, yes, I do. It's really easy to add color. Don't just settle for black, right? I think you'll be a lot happier when you start adding color to your stuff. How about we go with green or something? I have a few greens here. Now, once again, you don't want a solid line, so depending on what state your cap is in, I don't think this is a soft cap, but it's like half clogged, so it's kind of like a makeshift soft cap, I guess. So I can hold it pretty close. But find your distance. You want something that's more soft, like kind of faded into that black. You don't want something super solid. You don't want just a line going through the black like that. See, it looks weird to me at least, right? So let's just go ahead and cover that up. And basically just start over again. I just wanted to prove my point. Find your distance with this sort of thing. Okay, I think that can's just fucked. Let's see. Every cap will be different, every can will be different, and I'm just having the worst luck with caps right now. Okay, I guess we're gonna pick something completely different for the color. This is a super ultra fat cap because it's iron lac, and iron lac has no fucking chill. So we're gonna do fast motions, and then rely on the black to kind of just eat away again at that blue. All right, and let's do some purple. All right, and I just kind of want it around my planet. There we go. See, we have some color. Very nice. Now let's throw some stars in here. For the stars, very simple. We're gonna take some white. Jesus, fuck, we are having no luck. We're gonna spray some white on the finger and flick off to the side because I want them big, disgusting blobs to not be on my painting. That's why we flick off to the side. I am aware there are other ways to do this. I've been doing this a very long time. Hate to admit. But this way, in my opinion, gives the most control. That's why I like it, right? Because we don't get those big nasty blobs, and I can decide exactly where I want those stars to go and how many there are. Okay, that was fun. I think that's it for the sky. We just go ahead and lift this up. Now, since I didn't wait for the paint to dry because I have no patience, what we got is what I call the ring of doom, right? That big, nasty, just ugly, not clean line. So here's how I'm gonna fix that. Trash. Just another piece of scrap poster, a flat side to it. And I actually think I want a bigger side. So let me get another piece of trash here. This poster board. Just gonna tear off another piece that's a bit bigger. And now that wait, did I just make the same exact size? No, it's a little bigger. I did good. Now what I'm gonna do though, is with that straight side pointing down, I'm gonna hover over my painting. I'm not gonna place it on the painting, just gonna hover over it. And I'm gonna spray this with some white. Notice how I'm aligning myself? Yes, I'm aligning myself with the planet. Like one of those weird astrology people. But I'm just aligning with the curve of the planet. And now we're reapplying that nice highlight up there. It will help clean up any bullshit that your stencil left behind, but also it just adds a nice glow. Right? Something like that. Easy. All right, now see, here we go. This is a solid space painting, right? This is fine. This is nice. We did good. You may be proud of this. That's fine. You can be proud of this. However, we can do more. We can absolutely do more. Once you get used to stuff like this, we can start adding nature elements if that's what you want to get into. Like I said, live your life the way you want to live your life. An easy way to do this is you could take a straight edge, or we could just use the trash again and hold it as straight as we can. I need another can of white. And what we're going to do is just kind of make a water line up here, right? So I think we can just split this in half, the planet in half, that is. And I'm just going to make a water line up here as straight as I can. So it seems about right? Yeah, it seems about right. And what we're going to use is some secret sauce. I'm just securing some of the trash so it doesn't blow off into the distance. What I'm going to use is some secret sauce here. And I'm going to use a very fancy tool, my fanciest tool ever. Beautiful even. Amazing. Incredible. Me. I'm going to use me. Just use your fingers, right? I usually just use my pointer and my middle finger. Or I guess now that I'm actually thinking about it, I just use my middle finger. This one is just here for the fucking ride, I guess. And I'm just going to swipe back and forth and just work my way down. Now, here's the thing. It's hot out, so we have to use a lot of secret sauce. Paint's drying really fast. Here's the thing that I see most people fuck up on. Beginner type rookie mistake. They overdo it. You guys do it once, and maybe you don't like the result, you don't like the way that it looks, and then you just keep adding more secret sauce, and you keep going over it again and again, thinking that it'll get better. Here's the thing, it won't get better. Quote of the day, it won't get better. It never will, regardless of what they say. It's a lie. It won't get better. Just leave it, okay? Just leave it. Water is one of those things in spray paint art where it is what it is. The more you try to go over it, the more fucked it gets, okay? So just kind of leave it. Just chill. All right, now here's what we're gonna do. If I'm gonna actually get a straight edge for this because I wanna clean up this horizon, ocean line, whatever the fuck line up here. I'm gonna place this down. Oh, this is the daddy straight edge, by the way. That's what I call it. Any store that has like a paint section, like an actual paint, like wall paint, Home Depot, Walmart, that sort of thing, you can find this here. But I'm just gonna hit that tool, oh, whoops, with some white, and I see it left a bit of a mark there. Transferred some nonsense onto it, but that's fine. There we go. We got our nice little horizon. Oh, how nice, how pretty. I'm trying to think what can we do to keep this still beginner friendly. How about we add some distant rocks and stuff like that to this? We'll just, like I said, we'll try to keep it simple here. Although this will be the most difficult part of the painting. Ready? You're gonna take some black and you're gonna spray it on you, the viewer, your fingers, right? And wherever you can see a rock, and I would like to cover up this mark that the tool left because it's disgusting, just finger paint in some rocks. Just finger paint in some, it's the art of pretending it didn't happen, right? Just finger paint in some rocks. Easy. Right? I think we can actually just use a giant fucking little island thing right here, maybe. And it doesn't need to be perfectly straight down here either. Let it come down, because it's not something off to the distance where it's on top of the horizon. No, it's coming down a little bit. It's pretty close to us. And I think that is a-okay. How about we do, I love those little archy things. I love those. Every time I do one, I think of the terror that I faced on Battlefield 1 of snipers sitting on that fucking thing, on whatever that map was. Anyway, we're gonna just keep swiping in some little pieces of land. I think that's fine right there. How about us, are on a beach down here, and we just start swiping in some black, right? And it's separating down here. You notice, well, I'll have to get you a little close, because we used a lot of dark colors. But notice, I didn't make it completely solid down here. It separates a little bit. I hope you guys can see that. But that's fine, right? I live by the beach, okay? This is how beaches be, okay? It's not a perfectly straight, solid line. The water creeps in. It makes puddles on the sand that my dog loves to run around and get herself dirty in. But it happens, okay? So just let it be, okay? Whatever happens, let it be, especially in nature paintings. Especially in nature paintings. I think this is so boring, though. Yeah, it's easy, but it's boring. I don't like that. So let's do, how about this? We could do some birds, and we'll do some birds using the fountain pen method. So we could maybe do some comets as well. How about we start with comets, and then we'll do the birds. So the comets is something very similar. What we want is a piece of trash, and we're gonna fold it, and we're just gonna kind of pinch it down. Notice how we kind of have that teardrop thing? We're just gonna pinch it down slightly, and that right there is the shape that we want. The shape that I like, at least for my comets. I always have to correct myself, because I know people can never fucking read between the lines and pick up on context clues. But this is the comet shape that I like. Maybe you like something differently, okay? Maybe you want something a little bit more opened, like one of them open-ended comets. I don't like these, right? But what you want to do is focus the pressure more towards the bend right here, and it'll open it up. I don't like them. It reminds me of like a dress or something. I hate dresses. So I like to have it closed, right? We close it towards the back. A whole ass tutorial is what I just did. That cap is on the struggle bus, but I have faith in it. I have faith that it can survive. How about we just put a couple up here? Just like that, right? And I'm just spraying into the tool, okay? Treat it like a funnel, right? We just kind of spray in there with some white real quick. Now, if your painting is dry, which in this case, the paint is pretty dry, you can just place this kind of down. I'm just placing this bit down for stability. If the paint is still wet, just hover. Okay, if you have steady hands, I ain't got the steady hands, but if you got the steady hands, if you got the gift, just hover with it, okay? Because you're gonna leave a mark on your painting and it's gonna upset all of us. Oh, right. Let's turn this into a fountain pen while we're at it, since we're done with the comets. We're gonna crease it, we're gonna spray some black in here, and we're gonna make some birds, right? So we're just gonna make some little birds. Now, when you want something precise with the fountain pen, we must be gentle. We must care for her, right? We're gonna go ahead off to the side because we see all that fucking paint. That's way too much, way too big for a bird. It's gonna be super blobby. So I wanna get some of the paint off to the side first. See how it's getting smaller and smaller? Each one, perfect. Right there is perfect. Now we're gonna bring her over and we're gonna make a wonky looking V. Wow, that's our right. That's the right wing. It's his left, I think. Anyway, we have one wing. And we're gonna go off and we're gonna make the other wing. Just like that. Look how majestic. Look how majestic. And I like to do them in doses. 2s. Although maybe I'll shake things up and we'll do 3. Feeling extra fucking saucy today. Now another thing with the birds, I've kind of gotten used to being able to do it in one motion, but see how the bird has a body there in the middle? But what I'm gonna do is just go back to the center of the wonky V and just pull down some of that paint for a body. We don't even need to add more paint. I'm just using this to pull some down. Just like so. Wow, so pretty. Okay, one final thing I think we can add to this. This was a great beginner painting. However, I'm never gonna fucking hold your guys' hands again because this was boring for me. Every video from now on is just gonna be me painting actually what I want. Let's add a mist to that back rock over there. And what we're gonna do, you can use a piece of trash if you want, but I got a putty knife. And what I'm gonna do is just spray this and let it redirect down, right? So I'm kind of lining it up down here, and it's gonna redirect a little mist of white. Maybe you gotta mess with it to find the accuracy, the aim, where exactly you're gonna be hitting. But we want that mist back there. And you know what, maybe we want a little bit down there as well, on those little pieces of whatever the fuck those are. And then waves, ripples. Two ways to do this. There's the precise way with the trash, or there's the not precise way, which this is not a clean painting at all, so I'm gonna go with the not precise way and just kind of lean into that style. Excuse me. White on the fingertips, right? And then just smear it in. Where land meets water gets a good old fucking smudge of white. Wow. Just like so. And now we have our raves. Jellyfish rave. Waves, foam, ripples. Oh, what is that? I don't like that right there. There we go. Look at that. We're done. We're done. But see, this is a great point to kind of, I do a lot of naturey stuff, right? So this is probably a good place to start if you plan on following my series. Now I'm going to use whatever secret sauce we have left. Also, I've noticed that there's a little bit of emptiness up there. Just darken that up real quick. But this was nice. This was nice. We're going to seal it up with one final thing of secret sauce. And a little bit more in the corner because that's where I like to sign my name. Where is it? Hello? I need more secret sauce. My signature is the most important part, obviously.
Maybe you should humble yourself.
Hush. Okay. 2024 is the year, unfortunately. And squiggle. Look at that. Oh, look at that. This was a great little place to start. I do hope you found value in this. And I do hope... Wow, we spent 20 minutes on this shit? Are you for real? Actually? On fucking what? Oh my god. I must have really been yipping and yapping. Then I call that a success. We done good. We done did good. I'll see you guys next week. If you have any questions, don't bother putting them in the comments. I don't really check comments anymore because it's mostly just bullshit and spam and brain rot in the comments anymore. But if you have questions and you want to learn, like seriously, this is me, Amethyst, talking to you. If you actually want to learn and you have questions, there should be a link that hopefully works in the description to our Discord. It's for people of all skill levels and a bunch of different people who would very much enjoy answering your questions. Like we all really love what we do, and we're always happy to show off what we made and give feedback and answer all sorts of questions and ideas. All right, but anyway, here is the final piece. I hope to see you guys in the Discord. I hope to see you guys next week. I don't know if that was the right way, but look at her in all her glory. Toodaloo.